Count right now. How many subscriptions do you have? Not roughly. Not, I think maybe 6. The real number. Most people get this wrong by a lot. They remember the obvious ones and forget the silent ones. And that is exactly why subscriptions are such a perfect money trap. They are small enough to feel harmless, automatic enough to disappear, and recurring enough to become expensive before you ever notice the pattern. You are probably paying for things you do not use right now. This month. Maybe this week. A streaming service you stopped opening, an app you needed once, a free trial that became permanent because life got busy. A premium feature you forgot existed. $15 here, $9 there. By the end of the year, it quietly becomes hundreds for almost nothing. That is not a budgeting issue. That is an attention failure engineered by design. And this is why subscription spending feels so different from normal spending. A normal purchase hurts once. A subscription is a decision you made one time that keeps billing your future self forever. The pain is separated from the original choice, so your brain stops evaluating it like a fresh expense and starts treating it like harmless background noise. That is why smart people keep losing money here. The system is built to be forgettable. Hey, I'm Kira. By the end of this video, you will understand how much subscription money people actually lose without noticing, why companies love this model so much, how cancellation friction is used against you, and how to run a fast subscription audit that can save more than most random money hacks ever will. And because this is one of the easiest leaks to fix once you finally look at it directly. Let's walk through the usual suspects. Streaming platforms, music subscriptions, cloud storage, editing apps, AI tools, fitness apps, delivery memberships, gaming services, language apps, productivity software, newsletters, and those business tools you used for one project and never touched again. None of them feel dangerous alone. That is the trick. The problem is never one subscription. The problem is the pile. Modern spending hides inside piles. Then there are the worst ones. Subscriptions born from free trials. You clicked because it was free for 7 days, or 14, or 30. You meant to cancel. You probably even told yourself you would. But then work happened, life happened, attention moved elsewhere. Now you are 6 months into paying for something that entered your life as a temporary experiment. That is not an accident. That is the business model working exactly as intended. And corporate-style services make this even worse. Domain renewals, team tools, storage upgrades, design platforms, automation tools, payment add-ons, plugins you barely remember installing. If you work online at all, these subscriptions multiply fast because each one sounds like a tiny operational necessity. But tiny necessities become major leaks when nobody reviews them. Business spending can be just as lazy as personal spending. Sometimes worse, because it hides behind the word work. So why are subscriptions such a powerful business model? Because they turn unpredictable consumer decisions into predictable, recurring revenue. Then companies do not need you to love the product every month, they just need you to not cancel it. That is a much lower bar. They are not optimizing only for value, they are optimizing for retention, habit, and friction. And friction is where a lot of their profit lives. This is where psychology matters. Companies know that cancellation is a moment of reconsideration, so they try to make that moment inconvenient, delayed, emotionally annoying, or just forgettable enough that you postpone it. Hidden account menus, extra confirmation screens, retention offers, guilt messages, discounts, just for staying, reminders of what you will lose. None of this exists by accident. They are buying time with your attention, and often your attention is exactly what they get. That is why subscriptions are such a smart way to take money without triggering strong emotional resistance. The amount is usually too small to create urgency, the billing is too automatic to require conscious action, and the cancellation is often just annoying enough to delay. This is not theft. It is design. But financially, the result can look very similar. Money leaves your account again and again, while your brain barely registers the event. So here is the practical fix. Run a subscription audit. Open your bank app, your credit card statements, and your Apple, Google, or platform subscription settings. Go back at least 2 or 3 months, because monthly patterns are easier to spot with repetition. Highlight every recurring charge, not just the obvious entertainment ones. Everything: personal, professional, forgotten, annoying, tiny, too embarrassing, all of it. The goal is not judgment. The goal is visibility. Then create 3 categories: keep, cancel, review later with a reminder. Keep means you use it regularly and it earns its place. Cancel means you either forgot it existed or you are paying for convenience, fantasy, or inertia. Review later means you may need it, but you will put a calendar reminder before the next billing cycle, so future you is forced to make a conscious decision. That 3-bucket system keeps the process fast and realistic. And yes, reminders matter, because one of the easiest wins in personal finance is not just canceling useless subscriptions. It is stopping useful subscriptions from turning useless by default. If you set a reminder 3 days before renewal, the charge becomes a conscious decision again. That alone restores control. You do not need to become anti-subscription. You just need to stop being passive about them. Passive money behavior is expensive money behavior. There are also tools that can help. Budgeting apps, bank search filters, subscription trackers, email search for words like renewal or receipt, even a simple spreadsheet if you are not allergic to basic organization. But the tool is not the magic. The audit is the magic. One honest review once or twice a year will usually save more than a dozen cute save money tricks people post online, because this is real leakage, not symbolic leakage. And here is the uncomfortable truth: subscriptions survive because people confuse affordability with value. It is only $9 is not analysis. The real question is, am I using this enough for it to deserve a permanent claim on my monthly income? If the answer is no, the price does not matter. Cheap waste is still waste, and repeated cheap waste becomes expensive with shocking speed. So here is your move this week. Audit every recurring charge. Cancel the ones you forgot. Keep the ones you truly use. Put reminders on the uncertain ones. And total the annual cost, not just the monthly cost, because annual numbers break the illusion fast. $10 a month sounds irrelevant. $120 a year sounds like a decision. Framing matters. Make the cost big enough for your brain to take it seriously. You are probably paying for things you do not use right now. Not because you are careless, but because the system is built to be forgettable, sticky, and friction-heavy in all the wrong places. That is why one subscription audit per year beats most saving hacks. It targets money leaks that are recurring, invisible, and emotionally easy to ignore. In other words, exactly the kind that become expensive. That is the full picture. Subscriptions are one of the smartest ways companies take money because they do it quietly. Count them, audit them, and force every recurring charge to justify its place. One review a year can save hundreds for almost no effort. Subscribe if this helped, and I'll see you in the next video.